All these men in my comments are telling me I'm gonna die alone, surrounded by cats. Secure the bag first. Freeze your eggs. These babies ain't going nowhere.
Number two, which is contradictory to number one, you have to put yourself out there. And it's always followed up with, have you tried dating apps?
Like, he spent like 50, 40, whatever pounds he spent on your dinner. They don't hate women, they hate themselves.
So everybody's a hypocrite, honestly. Argue with your mama.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Now, before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this one.
I was having a conversation with this man today, and he was saying how the women who look amazing and have great bodies, they don't want to settle for men who are making like 50K. He was like complaining about that. So my response was, okay, well, have you considered like not pursuing those type of women if you don't fit the bracket that they're looking for? Because I'm sure there are some great women who fall outside that criteria. And his response was, yeah, well, people like what they like, right? And I thought this was interesting because it kind of mirrors what we hear about women nowadays. We're always told to adjust our standards. They're unrealistic. Everybody's competing for the same type of people. We all complain about double standards, but we only complain about double standards when we're not benefiting from them. So everybody's a hypocrite, honestly. Argue with your mama.
Oh, no. This is what's sad about what's going on nowadays. Now, that guy is a little off, but he's delusional like a woman because most guys settle. Every man under the sun settles. We have to, at some point in life, they will settle in, or they're settling now, because actually it's better to settle. You don't deal with as much headaches as you would when you're not settling. Like, could you imagine walking around with a woman that's a quarter and all the headaches you'll get? Maybe not if you leave, but still, when you're staying around in the same place, you get some headaches. But no, where that comes from, and the reason why guys say that is because most women, and not even sometimes the dimes, right? Not even women that look like you. You have more women that are fives and under, saying they want a man making 100,000, 6 feet tall, and they deserve the grump or the fat, overweight dude that's making 50,000. It's more of that, more delusional mindsets on the woman's side than the man's side. That guy is like a 1 out of 1,000. Where a woman, no, that guy's like a 1. Yeah, one guy thinking that way out of 1,000, and woman would be 100,000 out of 200,000. Think that way. Ain't that a big difference?
All these men in my comments are telling me I'm gonna die alone, surrounded by cats.
Oh, absolutely.
You sure about that, sir? You sure about that?
That don't mean nothing, because you'll always be able to get some. Why would a guy not want to smash? You look good. Yes, I'm not going to say you never have a chance, but watch this video.
Ladies, everybody tells you, secure the bag first. Life starts when you secure the bag first. You could do anything you want, as long as you secure the bag first. You can be choosy about your partner. You can choose when to have kids. You can choose what you give yourself or not in terms of luxury goods and experiences once you secure the bag first.
Now, that mindset is the reason why 2030 is going to be possible. That's why 2030 is going to happen. Because of this mindset here. This mindset here is why it's going to happen.
Wish we are all doomed.
Let me finish, though. Secure the bag first. Yes, it's not wrong. Nothing wrong with securing the bag. But once you can get there if you're working on it early. Because guys know they have to secure the bag. But if you're working on it early, you can do all of that and have a family. But let's finish this.
You can do philanthropy. You can dismantle the patriarchy. You can better enhance your corporate spaces if you secure the bag first. Put yourself first, specifically my women of color. Nobody's going to do it for you. No matter what, you still have to function in capitalism. Secure the bag first. Freeze your eggs. These babies ain't going nowhere. Not if you don't want them to.
You see that? And she's 36 saying that. Now watch this one.
You know, sometimes I do be scared, like, you're 36 and you don't have kids and you kind of want them. And then you have a random day like today where I slept till 1:30 p.m. I went out, did my thing, had fun, napped for a few more hours, woke up, went to a little downtown area, shopped, you know, gardened a little bit, and then went out to dinner, bought myself mac and cheese and a burger,
Mac and
walked
cheese
around
and a
some
burger.
more, had a good old conversation with a stranger, came home, and now I got to have insomnia cookies by myself and not share them with anybody, and slip into my comfiest PJs. Uninterrupted? Like, fine. I guess I can wait. I guess I'll sacrifice a little more time.
Crazy. Women are looking at that saying, this is the way to live that life, but it truly isn't. This is the way to live the single only life, or your life, like she's doing.
Here are my top 5 most annoying things that people say to me as a chronically single 30-year-old as I get ready for my 10th baby shower of the year. Okay, so number 1 has to be, it will happen when you're not looking. Have you seen it out there? There is not much to look at, okay? I'm certainly not looking. I don't know if I need to be blindfolded and take some extra measures, but I promise you, I'm not looking. Number 2, which is contradictory to number 1, you have to put yourself out there. And it's always followed up with, have you tried dating apps? No, Karen, I've never thought of that foreign concept before. And let me just say, the dating apps aren't it, okay? You know the leftovers that you have in the fridge that you forgot about from 2 weeks ago that are all the way in the back? That's what's on dating apps. There's nothing to look at. I also just say that I travel a lot. Like, I am gone in a new city almost every weekend. I'm out there. I'm screaming for the rooftops if you look at the rest of my TikTok. I am single, I am 30, and I am waiting for a husband. Can't say looking because I'm supposed to not be looking. Number 3 is always funny because I could tell it's like a pity one. You're still so young. No, you still have so much time. I'm 30. If I wait any longer, my friends' kids will be old enough to date me. I don't have time. No, I don't. Barely got any left. It's fine. Number 4, date older. And when they say date older, you know that they mean like 10 years older, right? So now we're looking at a 40-year-old man that's single, probably hasn't been married yet, and they want me to date him, date older. Does anybody else see the red flags there? 40, never married, still single. No, I don't think dating older is...
Now, she said that's a red flag. It's not. Do you see what so many men are looking at nowadays? How men are getting taken for everything? Men are scared to death out there. Men are. Not a red flag. But to a woman, it's a red flag. And she's ruining her dating options for that reason. There's a bunch of guys in her comments right now. But she doesn't want to shimp. She will refuse to take a guy that may be handsome that will tell her she's the stars of the moon. There's somebody out there right now that's an eligible bachelor that's probably handsome enough for her, but she's going to be single.
20s and 30s, we call them 剩女, which means leftover women.
With that kind of mindset, at 30, forever.
It's gonna work, but thank you for your unsolicited advice. And then number 5, don't settle. Well, Linda, I wouldn't have made it this far if I planned on settling, now would I have? Someone, for the love of God, please help me.
I'll help you. Don't listen to any of that stuff. Don't listen, and also don't listen to anything women tell you. Especially the number 5, don't settle. Yes, you have to settle. You have to settle with a man that's bringing enough to you to the plate. If he's missing 1 or 2 things and it's not that big of a deal, settle. You have to settle. Stop listening to a woman that could be married. Married woman could be telling her this. But we already know how reliable that is nowadays. Married woman in the States a lot of times is 10 years or 5 years away from being divorced.
Women remind men of who they are. That's why they go in and attack women. Because, like, men mistreat women they feel they deserve. Like, they feel they're entitled to. So it's like, if he took you out on a date and then he's like, you're not coming, like, you're like, thank you for a lovely night. And he's like, you're not coming home. You're not coming back with me. Like, I've just took you out for dinner. I've just paid for your dinner. You're not even going to come back to mine. Like, he's owed something because, like, he spent like 50, 40, whatever pounds he spent on your dinner. They don't hate women, they hate themselves.
Delusional.
Like, just go on like the previous post. That's nothing to do with me. And the men that we were out with are polar opposite to the men in my comments. Polar opposite. They expected nothing. They knew they weren't going to get anything. But it's the men it's bad men, like scared, like those men are terrifying. That like you're owed something. Like, no one owes you anything.
Now, this is what's going on. There's some guys out there that really don't understand how to create interest in women. They don't understand how to seduce. So that some guys think, okay, I take her out, she'll give me some. I take her out, she'll give me some. She won't give you any. And she's pretty much a woman that takes guys out on foodie dates just to eat food. And they do that with tons of guys, hoping not that they meet that Prince Charming, the guy that hits all of those buttons. When a guy pushes all those buttons, that's when he scores. But most guys don't push all those buttons because they're out to dinner looking for everything to be perfect in their head. 6'5", brown eyes, blue eyes, 6'5", blue eyes, trust fund. I forgot that song. But that's what they're looking for. So she's out looking for a guy to spark all those interests and also to hit all her hot spots. And most guys don't do that. So she's going to be a never-ending cycle, just like the woman that showed in the video before this. Single and lonely. She's what? About 30 now. 40 years old. And then wondering why things are the way they are. So this shows you everything you're seeing now. It shows you by 2030. That statistic is right. More women are going to be single and lonely. It's sad, but it's true.
I realized no one had ever articulated to me, this is what it looks like when you're settling.
Same. This is such a good articulation of like what settling actually looks like, because it's true. We hear don't settle, you deserve the best, like you deserve better our entire lives, and nobody actually explains what that looks like. I've always been very introspective and like observant. In my entire life I've observed good and bad relationships and been like, I want that, I don't want that. And I was kind of committed from a very young age to not getting into a relationship unless it had the qualities that I wanted. I've only been in 2 actual relationships. I dated around in college, but actually putting a label on it, 2. One of them being my husband. When I first met my husband, I really didn't understand what people meant when they said like, when you know, you know. And I don't think that has to be the case for everybody. But I genuinely knew within a week, and he did too. Although I knew, I'm not stupid, right? Like I know that there's a lot of milestones in your relationship that you need to get to in order to really, really know a person. One of the things that I didn't know was possible that she mentioned in that video was when you're with the right person, you do not fight. Like you genuinely do not fight. Like you might have disagreements, but you're always going to just want to talk it through and hear the other person's perspective because you genuinely care about that person. Like you're not coming at it from a point of like discontent or hostility or anything like that. You're coming at it from like, I just really want to understand your perspective so that we can like move through this together. I've been with my husband now for almost a decade, and to this day I truly cannot relate when people say like, oh, we fight all the time, or I'll hear people fighting in public or wherever I'm at. We just don't fight. Like we genuinely don't. We get along and we really just like each other. Like that's the thing. Like she mentions that in the video too. You know when someone doesn't like you. Like they might love you, but you know when they don't like you. You should never be questioning that in a relationship with anybody, really. And then the moving in thing. Like we didn't move in together until like 6 years into our relationship, and I heard from everybody like, oh, like you really know, like when you move in together, like that's when you'll know because everybody's true colors shine. Like that's when you get in the most fights. That's when things get really hard. And I kid you not, from day one until now, it has been the most fun experience of my life.
Now, you see her attitude. What's that new thing going around nowadays? She's very demure, very mindful. Like Kim Kardashian said, right? That's famous out in the Philippines. Very demure, very mindful. She thinks different than all of the other women that we just seen. And look what she's saying. When you got the right one, you don't fight. She's not looking for a fight. Listen now, ladies. Any woman out there that watches, listen.
If you're with the right person, I genuinely believe it's like having a sleepover with your best friend like every single day. We just laugh, we have fun together, we accomplish and tackle things together, which is like amazing because I was used to doing it always just as a singular unit. And it's just fun. Like, I just have so much fun. And I do think that it's really important, like, if you're questioning things and if you're not having fun living with this person, just being around this person, like, quite a bit throughout your week, that's probably a big sign that you might be settling. I don't think it's the case for everyone, but I do think it's the case for a lot of people that say marriage is hard, that they're not with the right person. And I think it's really important to figure that out quickly. The circumstances around my relationship have been hard, right? Like, we did long distance.
She is almost done.
For 5 years, and that was extremely tough. And then there's been other things, right? Because you just go through things individually and collectively, and it's families, and everything happens. Life is
Yeah, everything does happen, but it's good though when you with someone that thinks just like that and says, you know what, no matter what, we're gonna make it through. And that's when you end up in a long-term relationship. And you know what's funny? The way she thinks, I don't see her leaving him in 10 years. She's already been with him for 10 years. Look what's going on nowadays. Women are leaving guys left and right. I see that happening. More guys, usually they have to leave, but more guys want to find women like that, especially if they're standing around. It's hard because most guys realize it's definitely more to life than being with anybody that's not like that.